Hey, Jason. This is Jason Major from Sweaty Hero Comic Bargains for episode 82 of Sweaty Hero Comic Bargains. And so today we have Barb Wire, Ace of Spades, and Motorhead Special. And I just want to tell you a little bit about these titles. And on the back you have this Motorhead, you have the Barb Wire Monthly that came out. And on the back of, on this one you have an ad for the Barb Wire movie, as well as a contest they were doing, and the Barb Wire trading cards that they have, which I'm probably sure are definitely in a quarter bin at some card collector's place. But any case, I digress. Let's talk about these titles, which you might not have heard of. You might have heard of Barb Wire more than Motorhead. But let's start with this history page because it is helpful to explain both the history of both these characters. So creator Chris Warner introduced a character called Black Cross into the pages of Amateur Press Association fan publication, so it's just a fan publication. And then the character had a mohawk and basically was described as fighting fascist types and in a near future desolate setting. And then one issue of Black Cross, so this is a very, very independent comic, features a drawing of a tough-looking woman looking violently at the reader through multiple strands of barbed wire, and beneath the drawing, Warner has written Barbed Wire. So that was basically the character's first premise. And then Dark Horse, in 1986, Dark Horse is founded. Dark Horse first comic is Dark Horse Presents, inside a story in which Black Cross, aka Conrad, battles his way across a desolate near-future setting, like an apocalypse, like Mad Max, I guess. An America torn apart by a second civil war. Later that year, Dark Horse Futures, a 4-issue series entitled Barbed Wire is announced. So he originally was going to do a Barbed Wire series, but then the character gets delayed multiple times. 1992, they plan to do the Comics Greatest World, and so in 1993 there's a 16-week event called Comics Greatest World, in which Barbed Wire and also Motorhead, as well as many other characters, were created, and Dark Horse tried to get some top talent involved in these titles, at the time, and create their own universe of superheroes, and from the ground up and the floor up. And this was 1993, of course, was famously when around the same time as Image was coming as well. And so I would say 1990, like once you got Spider-Man #1 and X-Men #1, after that, boom, because the Image guys went over to Youngblood and all those, and Spawn and all those characters, then you had a wave, and Valiant was doing successful. You had a wave of all these new superheroes from different publishers that tried to make it in the marketplace at the same time. So in 1993, that's what happens. And in 1994, Barbed Wire got her own series, which I said looked like this. And then very shortly, I don't know how they did this very quickly, but then by 1996, she got her own movie with Pamela Anderson Lee, and of course that flopped at the box office, and it's considered a cult classic for how cheesy it is. But this comic book, the design of the character looks like it's a design on that a character design of Pamela Anderson. Now in this comic, Steel Harbor is kind of like it's a fictional city, so I'm going to say it's kind of like Detroit, Michigan, kind of like basically like Detroit, Michigan. Now that I think of it, I'm from Windsor, the Windsor area too. I haven't been to Detroit that many times, but I know of Detroit. But it's a rough city, which is down on its luck and all that, but it has a lot of biker gangs. And so Barbed Wire is a biker chick, as well as a club owner, and she has this club called the Hammerhead Bar and Grill, which is kind of like a nightclub type thing, more like a nightclub than just a regular bar and grill or anything like that. Like, it's like, look at the lineup there to get in. Basically, she has these adventures as a bounty hunter, and in this issue, like, she's trying to keep her place open and not have drama, and I don't know why, but I'm giving this book a B+, A-, because it was just a lot of fun. It was a lot of fun seeing this character and getting to know this character and getting to know the Hammerhead Bar and Grill and her attitude and spunkiness of just like, I don't need this, and you're beating up people who are getting into bar fights, and then gangs that are kind of involved in the neighborhood and stuff. And I just want to say that I would say that this is really cool, and this is really a lot of fun. You can see like there's even like images where like you see how the bicycle wheel is coming out of the comic panel. Chris Warner decides to do this, like the same thing that Neil Adams used to do, like things popping out from the outside the comic panel. I think that's kind of cool. There's this pinup which is really well done, and I just highly recommend this comic. And then Motorhead, which was like he has an engine inside his head, like kind of like I don't know, some energy, some source, kind of like I guess in the way that Hulk has like has an energy that builds up inside of him and then he explodes. But he has different powers than Hulk, completely weird and strange powers that I don't understand really, just reading this issue. But he's another kind of biker guy, and it is a kind of a cool little side adventure with this character. I admittingly don't know much about him. Barb Wire appears here. You can see she doesn't. Oops. Barb Wire appears here. It's right there. Right there. That's Barb Wire. You can see she's not exactly like Pamela Anderson, and she's not. She's like in purple and blue as opposed to just black. But Barb Wire is a cool character, and this was kind of a fun comic to read and just have something different. Again, these comics are fun. They're probably targeted at like a teen audience. They're not exactly like. This is not too complex, I think. Titan was another hero they had. So, Comics Greatest World. The miniseries was $1 each, and they were like 16 pages, and you can go find those really cheap, and they're still $1. And these were cover price, like this one says cover price $4. Barbed Wire was cover price $4. The other one was cover price $5. But you can find them really in your dollar bins or at the most cover price. Great reads, interesting reads, something different. I had a lot of fun with Barbed Wire. Once again, Comics Greatest Worlds can be found in Comics Greatest Comic Bins. Go stay sweaty.